David Barker, Barker Organics. David and Jane have been growing vegetables organically and earning our living from it for about 30 years now. Yeah, well, in the 30 years that we've been in business, up until, what, 3 or 4 years ago, we spread our muck by hand. But then one summer, Jane said, my wife, Jane said, it's the last year I'm spreading muck by hand. We have to have a muck spreader next year. And we found Millcreek, and we found Millcreek muck spreaders. And we found a muck spreader that was ideal for our situation, being very small. It was like a big Tonka toy, a lovely thing. And we actually bought it. And the first year we used it, it was delivered about Easter time. And we used it straight away to get on preparing for the summer crops. And I have to say, the first time we used it, we couldn't believe it. We spread an area of muck, and it would have taken us all morning to spread that muck. And we did it in about half an hour. We couldn't believe it. It was absolutely fantastic. It's a super little machine. We're market garden, so we grow crops in strips, and very often we have a strip that is finished. We've cropped it and we take it out and we need to muck it and prepare it for another crop. But we have growing crops either side of it. With this little muck spreader and our compact tractor, I can spread a strip and it doesn't interfere with the crops either side. Also, I can control how thickly I spread when I'm spreading normally. For crops such as courgettes, for instance, we like a lot of muck right where the roots are going to be. So I simply slow down and it plopped the muck off the back of the spreader in a lovely thick windrow, right where it's going to be incorporated with our rotavator and where we're going to put the plants. It's so versatile. We use it in the polytunnels, believe it or not. We have wide doors that are big enough to take the compact tractor, and I can drive in one end of the polytunnel with the muck spreader and out the other end, and I'll spread muck so easily. It's a brilliant little tool. We use it nearly all the year round. There's not often a period, except maybe the autumn period, when we're not using it so much. But once, even in the autumn, once crops are finished on the land and we're going to be preparing for next year, we're going to start using the muck spreader again, and we're going to be using it all winter, and we're going to be using it in the spring, and we're going to be using it right through the summer, because we grow crops, we're always planting or sowing something. We're always clearing crops. Because we're a market garden, we have to have vegetables coming off the land every week of the year. And those vegetables have to be replaced. We have to keep a succession going. And so we're constantly taking vegetables off clearing land, mucking it, preparing it, and planting again. We've recently moved to this holding, which is much bigger, bigger by our standards, 10 acres. And last year we had 100 tonnes of muck heaped on the field. We've spread about 80 or 90 tonnes of that muck on this field with that little muck spreader. Unfortunately, loaded by hand. But we're working on that one. We're going to get a loader for the tractor.